Amy walked away from the village, her heart heavier than usual. The early morning light danced across the path ahead of her, but her mind was elsewhere, circling around the conversation she just had with Golden Heart. The way he looked at her when he said those words.
I'm here because I care. About this village, about you.
Amy replayed it in her head again and again, the softness in his voice, the sincerity. It caught her off guard. People cared for her, of course, but not in the way Golden Heart did. There was something different, something deeper in the way he approached her. He wasn't asking for anything in return. He didn't want to change her or fix her. He simply wanted to be there, to help where he could, and it was so unlike anything she was used to. The thought of someone caring about her like that felt strange, and it scared her. Amy had always been strong, the one who held everything together. She didn't like relying on others. She didn't like the vulnerability that came with trusting someone. She came to a stop near the water's edge, staring out at the calm waves as they lapped against the shore. Her reflection rippled in the water, a reminder of the conflict swirling inside her. She had been so guarded lately, ever since the tragedy, so distant from everyone, even those who had known her for years. But then Golden Heart showed up, and he was so patient, so genuine. His quiet kindness was something she wasn't sure she could handle.
I care about you.
The words echoed again, and she closed her eyes, feeling the weight of them settle into her chest. He cared. He actually cared. And not just because of what she could do or how strong she was. He cared for her, despite her walls, despite her distance. Amy let out a slow breath, her hands tightening into fists at her sides. Why did that matter so much to her? Why did his words stick with her in a way that made her feel exposed? She hadn't known him long, but in that short time, Golden Heart had proven himself in ways she couldn't ignore. He was always there, helping the villagers, offering his quiet support, never asking for anything in return. He never pushed her, never demanded that she be anything other than what she was. And yet, he saw through her. He saw the pain she tried so hard to hide. For a moment she thought back to all the times she had brushed him off, all the times she kept him at arm's length. Was it fair? Was it fair to shut him out when he had done nothing but offer her a kindness she wasn't sure she deserved? Amy sighed, sitting down on the grass and wrapping her arms around her knees. She was tired, tired of holding up the walls, tired of pretending that she didn't need anyone. Maybe Golden Heart saw that in her. Maybe that's why he stayed, why he was so patient. But trusting someone, letting someone in after everything, that was still too hard. The pain of her past still weighed her down, kept her from opening up fully. And yet in the quiet of the morning, with the sound of the waves lulling her into thought, Amy felt something begin to shift. She didn't know how to handle this care that Golden Heart offered so freely. But a part of her, a small part of her, wanted to believe it, wanted to believe that he meant it, that he wasn't going to walk away when things got hard. Still, Amy shook her head, trying to push the thoughts aside. She wasn't ready. Not yet. Maybe not for a long time. But as she sat there, staring out at the horizon, she couldn't shake the feeling that Golden Heart's presence in her life was changing something inside her, something she wasn't ready to confront. As much as she wanted to stay guarded, a small voice inside whispered that maybe, just maybe, it wouldn't be so bad to let someone care, even if she wasn't ready to care back. But for now, Amy would do what she always did. She'd keep moving forward, keep holding on to her strength, even if her heart felt heavier today than it had in a while.